All right, welcome to Posh podcast. I'm Gabrielle, and I'm your host with my beautiful daughter Marcella.
Hello.
And our handsome co-host
Beautiful
Leighton.
co-host, Leighton. How y'all doing?
And our DJ Spider.
I'm still here.
So we were like side talking about asking for certain sexual
No side
games.
talking
Like,
about it. We were right out in the middle of it.
So usually we have a plan, but right now we're not having a plan.
Really just going on.
and Leighton was telling us that some girls said what?
Is how we're going to open this up.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for my
great.
mom and dad to listen to this episode. Because they undoubtedly will.
Sorry.
No, there's women.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me back up. For every woman listening to this,
A lot of throat clearing going
you're an
on right
insane
now.
person. If you're a woman,
That's
you're
true.
insane
I'm
in
crazy.
2019.
2019. That's
but-
actually true.
But there's been some situations. I won't name any names. But I remember my older brother in 2011 or 12 had a very, very uncomfortable situation where he came to me legitimately very concerned. This was before, like you said, 50 Shades of Grey. This was before that was like
a thing.
out in the open. And only the weirdest of people were doing crazy stuff like this. And my brother had relations with this young lady. She was a sweet lady. And
So
she
sweet.
asked him to choke her. And he was like, that's super weird, but okay. And just kind of put his hand on her neck. She was like, harder. He was like, I'm pretty strong. Like, I don't think.
I don't
think you know.
Kill someone.
And then he was like, so I got to the point where I was really choking her. And then she was like, fucking hit me.
What?
And he was like, listen, I gotta go. I can't be out here punching women. Like, he had a moral dilemma in his mind.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that story's been in the back of my mind 8 years.
Okay. Oh wow. And then fast forward.
A woman asked me to hit her.
How long ago?
Did your brother like pop up into your head real fast?
Ooh.
Immediately.
Oh, that's terrible.
My brother was in my head, and I was like,
It's the last person you want in that situation.
I was like, I know that like the way that I was raised, I can't be out here hitting women. But I've also wasn't, my father and mother didn't prepare me for women asking you to hit them. I feel like that wasn't a thing growing up that they needed to get me ready for. And now I'm just out here in the world with no direction and this woman asking me to put my hands on her. And so this girl, I don't remember exactly how she worded it. She was like, she initially like just was wanting weird, rough stuff. This has been a while ago now. It's probably about a year ago. Just wanting like
So long ago.
rough, a year ago. It's a long time for me. I've only been here a few of them. But anyway, she just was wanting rougher and rougher stuff, and it just kind of progressed to the point where she wanted me to hit her. And I'd only been in one other situation like this before where I got beat up
oh,
Were you
because I felt like I couldn't defend myself.
Unwarranted.
Absolutely unwarranted.
During sex?
Don't hurt me. This is supposed to feel good. Why are you hurting me? Why are you like ripping handfuls of my hair out?
No.
I had really long hair at the time.
Ripping your hair
I mean,
out.
handfuls of hair. Let me just tell you this. I'm gonna spare you all the details. When I woke up the next morning, I had blood like crusted in my mustache.
What?
I had like 4 spots in my head where my hair was matted down with my own blood. I had bruises and bite marks everywhere. She had donkey kicked me at least
Holy
a baker's
shit.
dozen. I mean, it was.
What's a donkey kick?
I thought I'd be safe if I was behind her, and I was not.
Oh my
So
god.
like,
Life's
I've
crazy
never-
out there.
Swinging
Let me tell you
backwards.
something right now. Being single 2019 is not great.
I have never. I mean, did you tell her stop?
wow.
I can't believe I'm saying this on the internets right now.
Did you tell her to stop? Like, quit.
No, I was afraid. Honestly, like,
Oh, no.
I'd only been with like 3 women, so like I was like,
That's got to be
is this what people are doing?
Culture
You know, like I
shock.
was afraid. Like she definitely knew more than I did. She knew something I didn't know.
Oh my god.
So at one point, it's like, do I throw in a couple kidney shots myself, like defend myself?
What's legal?
I don't know, and I didn't know where the line was.
No, I will totally draw the line at
So-
punching.
My new thing though, if you're gonna come at me violently and sexually like that, I'm gonna hit you with a big boot, a leg drop, and a 3 count in that order, Hulk Hogan style.
Makes sense.
You got a referee
Top
in the
rope.
room.
But okay, so what happens though if a girl's asking you to do that and then like you accidentally killed her? Like, what do you say when the cops come? Like, sir, she asked me to do
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah,
they're like,
there's-
sure. You're like,
yeah.
no,
No, you're in
she
trouble.
literally asked me to do
You're in
that.
trouble.
I have
you
such
run a
a
risk.
right along the line story with that I'm afraid if I should tell on the internet. You know?
I don't. This
You're
might
like,
be the
"Ma'am,
one
I don't
time. This
wanna
might be
kill
the one
you."
time I say don't do it.
I didn't
Normally-
kill
Kill
anybody, but I
Yeah.
absolutely thought that I did.
Oh, wow.
Spider's always like,
choking
do
her?
everything.
No, no. I want everything on
She
air,
pass
but
out?
I don't know if you should tell that story.
His eyes. Where are you going?
She's alive today that I know of.
Did she faint?
She was a friend of mine. Yeah, she passed out
Oh my god.
for like way longer than
Oh,
she should
no.
have.
Did you freak out?
I definitely did, but
yeah.
I was also so turned on.
What a dilemma.
It really was, dude.
Were
And
you-
when
were
she
you like-
came, when she came back to, it was on like Donkey Kong.
Wake up.
You're like, that's exactly
But
what I was looking
I had
for.
the time. I had the time, Mom, Dad. I had the time to think to myself. She was out for so long that I had the time to sit down and process. Like, okay, I got to go tell my friend I just killed this girl in his bathroom. I got to tell my mom and dad this is why I'm in prison. This is full blown, just like barehanded manslaughter.
Yeah.
And she came back too like a champ and
Like so proud of you.
like an American goddess.
The
And
rest
she
of the
came
night
back,
was fantastic, I'm
and
sure.
you know,
And then it went really well after that.
as good as it could have.
Okay. She's like dizzy and shit.
She wasn't all there, but
Who cares? She's alive.
She wasn't on
that
there.
sounded rapey. That's not. That's not. No, she was there. She was conscious. She just was a little out of it after that, as you are when you lose blood flow to your brain. So don't be choking people out there. Just make love like normal humans.
Just
you
be
know.
careful if you are. Like, don't kill
well,
anyone.
So would this be a good time for me to say that this episode is
Yes.
about
It's actually
23
perfect.
types of complicated relationships?
Oh, wow.
You've all been in?
Spot on.
Yeah.
Right on.
I think
Let's
it's
do
actually
it.
perfect.
We didn't have
Oh my
to
god.
even bring the title in. We were already on it.
I mean, you were already, it's like you knew.
I can't wait.
But
to-
again, I didn't tell anyone anything.
Feel it.
I can't wait to walk into my church on Sunday and everyone be like, "Listen to the podcast, dude."
Oh,
And they'll be like, "Pray for me."
It won't be on yet.
Yeah, you'll be.
It won't be on. Okay, next week
Yeah, you have a few weeks.
The pilot stuff is going to be on tomorrow.
for sure. Can't wait.
Well, people will definitely know
Y'all
you're
just
the Mara
y'all just
Haiba.
bringing the truth out of my
So
spirit.
who is going to be mad at church? I know everyone. I'll talk to them. It's going to
I'll
be
talk to them. Like, listen,
talk to
we all got a
Pray.
Listen,
past. It is
listen.
what it is. You know.
Like, Leighton was on my show. Just don't
Yeah.
listen to what he was talking about. It was all fake.
Leighton's
It
on
was
my
all
show.
fake.
He is
You know.
struggling out here in this
Pray
world.
for him.
We're just
So-
trying to entertain people over here. And, you know,
Yeah,
Pray for a godly woman that don't like getting hurt. Yeah.
you're right.
They do too. Please.
All right. I want to hear these now.
Let's do
All
it.
right, so 23 types. One is the one where you have a toothbrush at his place and have plans to spend next Christmas together,
No.
but is still not calling it a relationship. What?
For me, okay.
I don't know. I've
Uh,
never been in that.
He
situation.
I'll tell you this
Stressed.
right now.
What?
Don't leave anything in my place.
Nothing.
Period.
I need a toothbrush?
Until we've
I
had that
don't-
conversation.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
you only have a toothbrush?
Oh,
as soon as we have that conversation,
You're good.
as soon as we're exclusively
Got it.
together, whatever you want to do, like whatever you want to leave there, for sure, whatever. And I'll actually probably go to the store and buy you all that stuff.
Right.
But don't
Just leave it.
ever just assume
Yeah.
that that's okay. That's the thing.
Assumptions,
Assuming that that's okay
Oh, that's interesting.
freaks you out. It'll freak
I
you
can
out
see that.
and put you in a weird place. You're like, oh, now there's pressure.
Right. That's good to know for
Yeah. It's not
People.
like it's. How do I put it? Like you're trying to force your way into something.
well, or they leave stuff on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I have to come back and go get that.
See, I'll just throw that in the trash.
Sorry.
If you pull a move like that on me, I don't play ball.
No. Tricks,
But,
no
uh,
tricks.
Like you leave an earring on my dresser.
Uh-huh.
It's like purposely put there, you know. Nah, it's going in the trash.
That is.
Like, you
happened-
didn't leave
Hey, I
that here.
left my earring.
That happened
No, you
in the
didn't.
studio.
No, you did not.
I think I still have the earring. Yep, here it is.
My
What happened?
man.
This was purposely left behind so that I could be talked to again.
Spider was getting down
You
in the
still
studio
have
in
it,
here.
I
but
do
he
still have it.
has it. He didn't throw it out.
What
I
a
did.
sweetheart, dude. You're
I-
like a romantic dude, huh?
I thought it was an accident, but going into the conversation and shit, I was like, all right,
How long has it been here now?
6 months.
I've never done that. I've actually been always so cautious. Like, don't leave anything.
No, like
Anything.
because you leave, you're in the car, and you're like, damn it, I left this over here. I want to go back, but I don't want to go back.
I'm just weird about it in general. I'm just my mom has taught me a lot, and I'm very hard to get individual.
I think the best move if you're in that type of situation where you're seeing somebody but you're not, like you haven't had that moment yet, just keep the stuff in the car. Like
But
if you need it, you can grab it. If not, you don't got to make things weird. Like keep things safe.
But I mean, just an idea, and unless you are
exclusive, you shouldn't be
why are
spending
you
the
at
night anyway.
Why are you at his house?
That's
Just
true.
saying.
I can tell you
That's
why.
a great point.
But we're not going to get into
Tell
that.
us why, Spider.
Tell us, Spider. Come on. Tell us.
It's the height
I
of
wanna-
human pleasure.
Trying to get that juice.
Well,
Exactly.
But it also depends on what you want. Like if you're looking
Fair
for a
enough.
relationship with this person, I would advise you to not be spending the night.
No,
if you want to just hook up, then hook up.
No,
But if
if
you
you-
want a relationship, you shouldn't spend the night anyway.
yeah.
So
I
don't
think the
need it
only
too
time
far.
you're in that position is when you've been hooking up with somebody consistently. That's the only time you'd be in that position, when
Yeah.
you're hooking
Right.
up with somebody consistently and you're at the point where it's like, well, what are we? Like, hooking up consistently. That's what we are.
There you go.
I mean, if you're, and honest to God, if you're in that situation, you're probably not seeking out a relationship anymore.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I've just
True.
never done that either.
it's just less funny to be real out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like it.
Okay, the one where you don't love each other anymore, but you're trying to pretend like you still do.
Waste of time.
What do you mean, like you're still living together, or like
Yeah.
that's why I don't live with anyone anymore
I would
because
never
it,
live with
That's
somebody I wasn't married
like
to.
don't
people
live
get
together.
people get so comfortable.
Yeah.
that,
I
like,
can-
this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm like, this is
No, I can
ridiculous.
attest because I will tell you, I did it so many times where I lived with someone and it was over, and that makes it so much harder. And I promised myself I would never do it again until I am married. And I have dug my heels in, like, and it has made it, not that my exes aren't like fine or anything like that, but it's made it so much easier to break up. And I mean that not in a mean way, but it's just like you don't have to hold
Yeah.
on, like you don't have to
No, you
move
want a clean
somewhere.
break.
Yeah, you want it to be as peaceful as possible because breakups suck already. So to not live together, nobody listens to me. Like one of my best friends right now, like don't live with them, and she did anyway. But don't do it unless
Don't
you're
do it.
married. I would recommend.
I dated a girl for 4.5 years. And she's like my high school sweetheart. And all through like junior, senior year, probably half my sophomore year, and then first year of like our college time, and then we split 2000 on Valentine's Day 2012.
On
Damn.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you break up?
She broke up with me. Yeah, but
Did
the
you
thing
not
was,
buy her the right stuff?
Oh no! Wow.
I actually got
assumed
I actually
that.
got
I was
stuck on
just
an oil field
asking.
job for about 21
You
days
didn't
and got
come
stranded.
home for Valentine's Day.
I couldn't. I
No,
couldn't.
yeah, you talked about that last
But
time.
like the problem is I go all out on Valentine's Day every year, so like there was expectations. But no, we started dating when we were so young.
Right.
You know, loved each other like crazy. 5 years later, you know, we're 20, didn't really like each other anymore. I don't think so. Like it was very comfortable. We weren't living together, but might as well have been. Like one of us was staying at the other one's house all the time or whatever. But whenever it came down to it, the fact that we weren't really living together made it clean, easy, even after that long and that like developing of a relationship. You know, you're at those developmental years and you're so young that you're doing a whole lot of figuring out who you are, you know, in your late teenage years and early 20s. And the fact that we weren't living together made that so easy to be able to just be like, I love you, but this isn't working anymore.
Right.
And when she said that to me being able to be like,
You're
you're
right.
100% right. I'm just going to go back to my house. You know,
Yeah,
'cause
right.
Yeah.
I don't live here. So we were able to just very clean break even after that.
Right.
You know,
It does, but people
important
want to fight
relationship.
it. They're
Yeah.
like, it's 2019. We're just moving in together after 2 months. I'm like,
That's insane.
What?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
You
I've
don't even
never
know
lived with
this.
a woman. No, I would never do that.
I've done it twice.
Lived with a woman.
No. No, maybe. No, live with a man. Exes, and it just makes it very difficult. I wouldn't recommend it. And after that time, I was like, never again.
And that puts so much pressure on a relationship that
It-
doesn't need to be there
It
yet.
does,
Yeah.
and you're not married.
You're still getting to know the person.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's, I could advise.
you
but
shouldn't move in with somebody unless you've already made that
Commitment.
sovereign commitment
Agreed.
to like
Yeah.
no matter what, I'm with this person. You know,
I
in
agree.
front of
I think-
the Lord.
I think it is good to experience that with someone before you get married, but just to jump into it like that, that's crazy.
Like you guys, like someone I know just moved in with someone they have been dating for like 3.5 months.
That's insane.
Insane. I know
Leighton is freaking out over
Trust me.
God. I know people have done the same, but like, hey,
it.
don't do that. You know?
Don't do that.
I know. But they think they know. They know better. They know more
Oh my
than
gosh,
you do.
no, he's the one. She's
Yes.
the one.
Yep.
Like,
Right.
It's different with this person. Is it?
Is it?
Because
It's
you
totally
say that every
different.
time. So
It's actually true.
Number 3, the one where you've been booty calling each other for an awkwardly long time for it to still just be nothing more than a booty call.
I don't have any experience in that.
That's all mental.
I know. I'm like wondering.
It's all mental. Like, what's too long?
This is 98% of my relationships.
Oh, wow.
I don't know
Really?
that.
No.
So what do you do when you call them? Do you say, "This is your booty call, come over"? Is that what you say? What
That
do
is
you
way
say?
too obvious.
Well, like as a dude, you call it a dick appointment, but no, no.
Come
I'm
over.
just.
A dick appointment. That's awesome.
No, I mean, you still got to be sweet and romance somebody. Like, you can't just be like, "Sup, come over, dude."
Dick
Like,
appointment.
I
you
was
got to be
wondering.
sweet about it.
You
Like,
you
hey.
do. So
I
then,
don't
You know?
see.
so then you're misleading her.
No, not at all.
I'm sure she
I'm not
knows
lying
too.
to anybody. That's the thing. That's how we come back to number 1,
The
is where all of a
toothbrush.
sudden you're in a situation where like you've been flirting with somebody too long for it to still just be flirting. But that's how you end up hurting people's feelings, and that
Mhm.
sucks a whole lot. That's something that
You
I
gotta-
have been guilty of doing it in the past, but I really hate it and have made conscious efforts to not do that anymore.
to not have booty calls anymore. Is
No,
that
not.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Because I'm out here looking for a wife, so acting like that's a young man's game, and it's
You're not going to find a wife that way.
no, not at all. What you're gonna find is a lot of loneliness and sadness.
Yeah, but
we're
also
not taking this down there. We're not doing this.
But also, I think it's the women's job to. I'm assuming that if you liked someone and you started flirting with them, and then you maybe asked that question and she didn't do that, it would probably be a turn on to you. I'm sure.
It just depends on the situation. I have. I think I actually talked about this last time y'all had me on. Men, no matter how respectful they are,
Yeah.
I think most men, I'll say this, single men only have the capability of giving a woman the amount of respect she demands from him.
Right.
So if a
1
woman
million
doesn't
%.
demand any respect from him, whether or not he's a respectful man or not, in like the sexual realm, that's how much respect a woman's going to get. So if she demands that respect from him, that's exactly what he's going to give. If he's really interested, if he just wants it as a booty call, then he's
Well,
going to dip out. That's a
yeah.
turn off because he just wanted sex. So if he doesn't get it, okay, cool, he'll go somewhere else. But if he's actually interested in you, maybe he has a couple too many drinks and hits you up late night. No, I ain't gonna do that. And then he's like, he wakes up the next morning and is like, man, I screwed up and this woman, she, honestly, I feel bad now and she's too good for me. Now he's got to step his game up and come at her and knows now where his boundaries are.
Right.
So as a woman,
all about
because
boundaries.
men are out here
that's
just trying
the
to get
perfect
it.
word. Like communication, setting boundaries from the start is the key to that.
Because a man will have a couple drinks one night and try to test the boundaries.
Absolutely.
So if you set those boundaries where they're supposed to be in a relationship, especially before marriage, if you set those boundaries, nope, we're not doing this. He will, if he's truly interested in this woman, go above and beyond to not only respect those boundaries, but now he's got to come up with a different game. He's got to come up with a way to win you over
Right.
in the daylight.
The daylight.
I like that.
Set boundaries, ladies.
Yes.
The
Yes, set
one
boundaries.
where you don't hook up anymore, but you still talk a little too frequently for people who hooked up 3 times 4 summers ago.
But you can't be friends?
Yeah, I don't understand this one.
I don't either.
It's 2019.
I don't know.
I
You're
mean,
friends with everybody you slept with.
Yeah.
nowadays.
Wait, say that again?
you're friends with everybody you slept with.
Oh.
It's a very weird time we're living in right now. Honestly, I don't get it. I want out of here so bad.
You were born too soon.
I'm so uncomfortable in this world.
The one where you're pretending like you don't care that you're not exclusive because you don't want to lose him. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
That one for me is just ridiculous. I'm like, really? Are you serious right now?
That's
you don't have
infuriating.
him anyways. You will never have him.
Yeah.
That's not even a thing. Just
That's infuriating. Hey, lady, I'll love you. Like, there's another guy over there somewhere
Yes.
that's like, that you're probably his dream girl.
Mhm.
And you're over here running around with this Muppet who's running around with these other chicks, and you're not exclusive, but you got like feelings for him or something because he laid it down just right. And now you're like, well, I'm just, one day he'll get it or something. I don't know.
I really loved that.
And now there's a guy over there that's like, I will give you the world.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's super annoying.
I could see that.
Yep.
But I would never feel that way on the flip side about a woman. So
You would never give her the world?
I would absolutely give one woman the world, but I would never, if I was the guy dating a girl who wasn't exclusive with me, I would be like, okay, goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
fast.
You wouldn't be
So
like
fast.
sweating.
That doesn't work like that with guys.
No. Yeah, I know several women that just like sleep around. They just love it. It's crazy.
Yeah, they don't care.
Some people, live your life. Live your best life.
Do you?
Live your
The one
truth.
where you're exclusive but not dating.
What?
What does that mean?
I was actually in that recently.
What is it?
Yep.
How does that work?
Can you explain that, please?
100%. I was seeing a girl a couple months ago, and it just happened. Like, had no plans of pursuing a relationship, nor did she. We met in a weird way where we were kind of put in the same place. We were kind of stuck together for a while, and around each other pretty much all day for about a week on this road trip, and then came back to Dallas, and it was like, we kind of just been hanging out for the last week straight, all day, every day for this week on this road trip, doing this festival thing, and kept hanging out. And we never had that conversation or anything, but I found myself when I was out and about with my buddies feeling very uncomfortable, like flirting with someone else or talking to another woman. And I was like, this isn't right. This doesn't sit right in my spirit. But I wasn't with it. We hadn't had that conversation, but I would have felt very guilty trying to talk to another woman.
But then that just ended?
We
or?
were exclusively seeing each other, but we hadn't we hadn't spoken into a relationship yet.
So where is that now?
It's been over for a while now. It just came down to me.
You're so funny.
Me realizing that this isn't. She was amazing. This woman was amazing, but it came down to me realizing this isn't the woman I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
So I'm not gonna waste her time. I'm definitely not gonna waste mine.
And spending so much time with someone, it kind of accelerates that. Yeah. Which is like,
and we were on the cusp of number one right there too. So
she was
I was catching
things?
some things. Hey,
she left a toothbrush, bobby pin, hair tie, scrunchie.
Odds and ends. We'll call it odds and ends.
Thong.
Oh wow.
Thong. The one where you love each other, but circumstantially, it just isn't going to work. So you won't be in a relationship, but constantly talk to each other and refuse to date other people.
It's wrong place, wrong time is what it sounds like.
Yeah, because I guess it depends on the circumstances,
Yeah, that's very
which they don't say.
It sounds like insecurity to me.
Yeah, it's a very long question.
You know what that could be too, though? This almost sounds like where someone is still maybe in a relationship kind of thing.
Or involved, like still has feelings for an ex.
Right.
Something like that.
Oh.
But also it could be just a long distance thing. That sounds like a lot of where you don't want to commit to something long distance in case you meet something close. And you
I
don't
could
want to
never
lose
do
this
long
person.
distance.
It's the worst thing in the world.
I couldn't do it.
Terrible. So I'm going to tell you what we'll do because we're running out of time today because we had some stuff, but that's okay because what we're going to do, we're making this a 2-part episode. So we'll come back and finish it, but we have to absolutely call Miss Polly first.
All right.
Because I have a question.
I'm always down
That's my
for
girlfriend,
that.
so let's call it.
It's like Gino. It's like that. It's the same.
I seriously have heard this like 500 times over the last year.
Still the
You
best.
better start embracing it.
Hello.
Baby girl.
Hi.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
How you doing? You all right? I miss you.
Aw, did you too?
Oh, wow. Are you working today, Miss Polly?
She's moving.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm moving.
We're going to do
Moving
a
in
jingle
with me.
real quick. Oh, moving
jingle.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Did we have this relationship that I totally forgot about in the last, 20
We
minutes?
do now.
All right. Give me 1 second of silence. We'll get this going.
Silence. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
This is Penis and Pussy Talk with Miss Polly.
Oh, I love that one.
This is our favorite time of every episode, I think.
Every episode needs this time.
It does. So we started talking about types of complicated relationships that people are in. However, we've kind of run out of time, so we are going to do a 2-part episode. So we will come back to that one again. But for this one time, I have a question for you. Why do people stay in relationships that are complicated?
Because one or both parties are in denial that the relationship needs to end.
We can relate, huh?
Because they are in denial.
Yeah.
That's basically one or both are in denial.
Well, and I don't think people like change very much.
Of course not, because change is painful sometimes.
Right.
And it's the unknown. But guess what? It also helps you grow.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
So are you going to be stagnant or are you going to grow?
Well, I would always choose growth.
You get kissed on the mouth, spitting
Growth
wisdom
is
like that.
always the because
he
the more
says
you
that-
know, the more you grow.
When Leighton says that sentence, he has such an accent, I cannot understand him.
Oh, wow.
I said you get kissed on the mouth being wise like that where I come from.
Oh, wise.
Miss Polly can understand that, though, I'm sure.
I think all Miss Polly heard was getting kissed on the mouth.
Pretty much. Is there tongue?
That depends on you, Miss Father.
Oh, my God.
Well, on that note, we're gonna call you again.
Sorry, I have to go to work, Miss
Yeah,
Polly.
she has to go to work, but that's okay because
She don't have to, but she's
Okay.
choosing to
Yeah.
over us. So.
I love
that
it.
is true.
It's complicated, right?
It's complicated.
It's complicated. Well, Miss Polly, you have fun moving today.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
Can't wait.
I love you.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank
Love you
We love
too.
you. Bye.
Okay.
Which takes us to the question of the day.
Here we go.
The two posh girls ask the question of the day.
That accent.
I love it.
Me too, man.
Scales. Ask the question.
That's the first time we've used that voiceover lady, and she's getting more business from us for
Just
sure.
feeling it, dude.
I just love it.
So, what is the longest you have gone without sleep and why?
I thought you were gonna say
Oh,
sex.
wow.
I did too. For sure thought that was going to be about sex.
I can say this past weekend.
Oh,
Judging.
yeah, that's right.
Tell us, I
Marcella.
slept for, I think, when I counted it, actually, I slept for 8 hours total of 4 days. I judged 45 hours straight talking in.
Did you split the sleep up like in small segments?
Yes.
Okay.
30
Yeah,
minutes
like-
at a time.
Yeah.
Or was it like an 8-hour sleep for the whole weekend?
No. It's just split up like 2 hours.
Just
3.
trying to understand.
Yeah. That's a good question. Between Thursday and Monday, I think I slept not at all. I was delirious, crying. I cried a lot for no reason,
bet.
just crying.
I picked her up from the airport and they changed the airport rules. Like you no longer can stop at the curb
Yeah.
for more than 2 minutes or you get a ticket. And I'm like, well, there was so much construction I couldn't circle. So they made me go in a parking garage and I couldn't find her. So now she's like getting all pissed off. She's like, what do you mean? You can't see me?
You guys, I couldn't.
Well, could you wave? And she goes, I am waving.
You guys, nobody. Okay, let me tell you something. Judging, I don't know if I can explain this well at all, but I judged over like 600 dances for 45 hours in 3.5 days. And that is talking for 45 hours. The, like, you're not, it's like inhumane, like the amount of work that is.
Yeah.
And then after, I don't want to talk to anyone else. I literally still right now have an ulcer on the side of my tongue for talking so much.
You're being so dramatic right now.
But
This is insane.
when you judge, you have to give them feedback and stuff.
Yes, I'm like
Okay.
this. Let me show you. Welcome to the stage, entry number 484, Cold-Hearted Snake. You look so beautiful today. Could you please point your toe? I love your smile. That's so wonderful. But if you could straighten your knees, point your toe, your arms look like shit. You know, you just keep going.
How old are these people?
From 2 to 18.
Do you say shit in front of the 2-year-olds?
No, not at all.
She just gave you a little
I
idea.
just gave you like an idea. But you keep going and going and then the next second.
No, I can't even
In a dark
imagine.
room, my face gets oily because I don't get any air circulation. I have to pee really bad. I barely eat. I'm dying.
Sounds awful. Is the money good?
No, not enough.
What the hell are you doing that for?
You're
then?
being so dramatic right now. That's actually insane. Me and Spider could judge these. Hey, wasn't that great? See you later.
No, my judging when it comes to dances. Hey, that was all right. Hey, that looked terrible.
Now I got to
Then
be
are
very
you
honest.
fired?
Your boy can dance. So dancing is very, very important to me.
Get up, go ahead.
Dancing
let's
is
see.
very important to me.
Let's see. So she
And
can
I'll tell you
judge
this: my hips
Don't
lie.
You could put Shakira on real fast.
If you just
Yeah, can
Simon
we see
Cowelled that? If you just Simon Cowelled it,
Go, let's go.
you're terrible. You're terrible. Or it was really great. You know,
amazing.
whatever. Like you could downsize all that talking time. Ice right through.
So you want to just say 2 words.
So what
Okay,
we're doing
great. Or no.
the next episode when we're doing this, we're having him dance and her judged. I'm going to have to write that down.
I'm
so don't
dancing.
put-
You're
Pulling
playing
up-
guitar.
I'm pulling up.
You're
a song
singing.
right
I've
now.
nailed.
I'm dancing. You're singing.
I'm singing.
Yep.
Oh. She,
I'm dancing.
no, she. That's
And
good.
I'll
She
drop it
actually took voice
low,
lessons.
girl.
She can sing.
I can't
can
sing
sing.
anymore.
Let's hear
You
something.
can sing.
No.
Let's hear a little
Oh
something.
my God, no. But
Come on.
I gotta go to work. Where's your house?
Okay.
Your least amount of sleep,
Yes.
Leighton.
Least amount of sleep. I've gone 3 days without sleeping
Why?
straight. Last time I did that, I was fasting. A couple years ago, I did the road one time where I had a show one night in Stanton, Texas, which is close to Midland, at like 10 p.m. or something. And I had to be at Dublin, Texas at 10 a.m. to play a show. And then I had to be in Lubbock, Texas at 8 p.m. to play a show that very
God.
same night. So I had to
Man.
That is
play
not
the show.
close
And,
either.
I woke up like 7 a.m.
Does
Friday.
that pay good?
No. No.
Were you grumpy?
No, I'm pleasant always.
Were you crying at every time?
I only cry. The only times I cry are when I come across like videos of people finding out they're going to be parents for the first time, or like soldiers returning home. Then I bawl like a child, and like their kids see them. Like, oh.
Yeah.
But like stuff in my life, no, I do not cry. But woke up like 7 a.m., went throughout my day, played my show that night, and drove straight to Dublin. Was afraid to fall asleep, so I thought I'd sleep through my call time the next morning. So stayed up with my best friend Mason, played our show, full band. The next morning, 10 a.m., ran up to Lubbock for setup and sound check, played there. It was on the night of like daylight savings time, so our 4-hour show became a 5-hour show.
Ah.
So sang for 5 straight hours and then had to drive home after that. So
cried
ended
on
up being
stage.
awake for and then I had to be back at work the next day. So we ended up staying awake that whole day. And then I think that night I did a bunch of blow and ended up having to just staying awake through that night. So it ended up being a 3-day long thing. So a little window into my past.
That is, that's my
This is
story.
about 8 years ago now.
That's my
So-
story as well. I stayed up for 4 days straight, and it was because of drugs.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it. And then you sleep.
I
for
couldn't
about
do
2.
that. Yeah, I couldn't do that on my own.
Yeah.
Oh, I
no
could.
way. No way.
4
She
days straight.
can.
4 days, yeah.
Yeah,
You-
I did 4 days, but by the 4th day, I
We
actually
should
was
party.
hallucinating. But I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Me
doesn't
neither.
do drugs.
Me neither.
No, you stay up that long though, you're gonna see some shit.
I haven't
I
touched
did.
the
It
drugs
was
since
weird.
2013. Let's party.
Just lay it out on this table.
You and me are going to go have some drinks, and we're going to just see how long we can stay up.
Yeah. Those days are long, long gone for me as well.
For sure.
Well, on that note, you guys, thank you everyone for
Thank
listening,
you.
and have a wonderful day.
Yay.
Okay, bye.